Board gamers now have the choice to play either the cardboard or the digital board game Wingspan. But which way is the best to experience this game? Cax and I are taking different sides and debating this question, and you get to judge which side wins, here on Legendary Tactics. After you've heard our arguments for each side, please let us know in the comments who won and vote in the poll in the community tab. The question that we're asking is whether the original Wingspan board game is better than its digital successor. It's taken me a year to answer this question, but today I'm going to argue for the cardboard. Welcome to the debate, Cax.
I heartily disagree. So I'll be arguing in favor of the digital edition. We're going to each offer our best 5 arguments. Since the physical game came first, you can start, Flash.
Okay, well, I look forward to this. Thank you. So for my first argument, I'm going to actually invite Jamie Stegmaier, the CEO of Stonemaier Games, to tell me why he prefers the cardboard.
I mean, in that case, I do have to go with the tabletop version. But for me, nothing replaces the tabletop version of pretty much any game. Just having that tactile experience at the table, I love.
So he's right. Board games are meant to be a hands-on experience, especially Wingspan. You've got the bird feeder dice tower that spits out food, the eggs that look like candy, and of course the focal point of the game, the cards. And there's just gorgeous artwork when you look at the live game. The main reason to play a game is to get your hands on all of these components, to manipulate them, and to immerse yourself in a real experience with real people, not with digital avatars.
It's actually the negative side of the tactile element that makes the digital experience preferable for me. While you're busy setting up the game and handling all the components, the digital edition takes care of all that setup. I'll just jump right into the game because I don't need to dig out all the cards, organize the eggs, build the bird feeder that I had to disassemble to fit into the box from the last time, and I don't have a mess when cats decide to join in the fun. And I step away from the table for a few minutes. So the digital edition is a cleaner, tidier, and much more efficient way for me to experience the game.
Sounds like the lazy man's version of the game.
Oh, big time.
Well, let's move to our second argument. So, and also for the person judging this debate, now is the time to start recording whether you think Cax or Flash, myself, have made a better point for our arguments. So my second argument is about the player experience. I've tried both versions with my family and with friends, and no question the live experience is better. Games like this are sometimes accused of being solo games that happen to have other players sitting around, and that's why the live experience is so important. When you're sitting at a table, you notice what everybody else is doing more, you socialize more actively while you play, and you remember that this game is about the people, not about the pixels. At a glance, you can see everything that's happening. In the digital game, you only see small portions of the game at any time. You need to click on your opponent's boards or on specific habitats or cards to get all the information you need, and it's really a little bit clunky in its digital form. It detracts from the game for me. Playing remotely on your computer is an isolating experience, and what we desperately need now are more human interactions.
Clearly, you haven't been living the same experience that I have during the last few years. The pandemic has completely changed the way gaming happens. While this game has been out, we haven't been able to get together in person the way we used to. People are more comfortable and safer gaming from their homes. Not only that, but online, you can connect with Wingspan enthusiasts all over the world. You don't have to force your friends to play a game they don't even really want to play. There's even a tournament scene now that would have never existed without this digital edition.
Well, I have a hard enough time beating my own kids, so I don't need to play against people from around the world for that to happen.
That's a good point. They're getting wily.
So for my third argument, I'd like to focus on the tangible product that you end up with. So the game is about $70 to $80, but for that investment, you have something you can hold. You can put it on your game shelf. This is a game that you can take with you to the cottage or over to a friend's house, whereas the digital gamer is beholden to playing on their Switch or their PC. My cardboard game can come with me on vacation. It can go to a social gathering. If my internet connection's down, I'm still good to go. I already spend way too much time in front of screens, so for me, the physical game gets me away from that.
Still, I believe that different mediums offer different advantages. And while your points are well taken, the digital edition provides more value when you buy it. It's not only much more affordable at about $23 on Steam, but it also offers elements that are not available in the physical game. I'd like to hear what Jamie Stegmaier said on this issue.
I do think that Monster Couch has done a fantastic job with the Wingspan digital app, and it does add things that aren't available in the tabletop version, like different backgrounds based on the season, different bird sounds, different animations.
He points out that the digital game has different backgrounds based on the season, bird sounds, animations, and the gorgeous soundtrack. This digital edition is the most soothing I've ever experienced because of the music. For me, one of the main functions of games is to unwind, relax, and find comfort. So while you can't touch the cards, the sensory experience of the game is heightened with the rich sound tapestry and the smooth flow of the game. I also have a problem with my gaming cupboard getting too full anyway, so storing this game digitally is preferable for me.
Nice Easter egg with the tapestry reference there.
Thank you.
No, when I made the Gloomhaven comparison, I'll put the link to that video above between the digital and cardboard edition. People were really upset with me that I used sound as a point of comparison because board games don't have music. So they argued, how could you compare these two things when they're so unlike? So how would you respond to their point?
Yeah, that's a really, that's a point that I could see them making, but I think that both mediums are a valid way to experience the game. And if you get to talk about the tactile elements of the cardboard, then I should be able to talk about the sound of the digital. I think it's only fair to highlight the benefits of both mediums.
I agree. Absolutely. That's well argued. And I can't deny that this is likely the best soundtrack to any digital game this year. So, and if you haven't joined our channel yet, for the person who's judging this, please consider subscribing now. If you like this debate style video, give us a like so we're encouraged to do more like this.
And don't forget to hit the bell.
Absolutely. On to our fourth argument. So part of how people will make this decision, in my opinion, will likely be based on what kind of a gamer they are. And for me, the best way to enjoy a game is to be able to adjust it for the group I'm playing with. I like to customize my games with house rules. For example, it's well known that the Killdeer and the Chihuahuan Raven are pretty broken. They're really overpowered in this game. So we can just pull those cards out of the deck. And if I'm playing with kids, I want them to have a really great experience. So we tend to bend the rules a little bit and give them allowances that adults don't get. You know, once in a while, you just need that one extra egg to get your engine rolling. And of course, my kids are going to get that benefit. So they might also get to, say, draw 2 cards instead of 1 when choosing a bird that's face down. So house rules heighten the gaming experience for me, and you can't just do that with the rules enforced digital edition. These rules allow the game to evolve with your gaming group, and they let players have creative input into the experience.
So what I'm hearing is that you like to bend the rules, or maybe cheat a little bit, as I like to call it. Well, you know what? There are many rules purists out there that would be shaking their head in disgust right now. So I prefer a digital game that because it ensures everyone follows the same correct rules. No one misses their powers because the game automates the process. You don't waste time fiddling around with food tokens and that nitty-gritty. This makes the gameplay a lot faster and smoother. If you score 180 like Boneless did in our 180 video, we know that it's a legitimate score, as opposed to someone who claims to have beaten with their flexible rules. I find the digital game is much easier to learn because it guides you through your turns and lets you know what you should be doing.
Huh, I just got 181 the other day on my
See? See how easy it is? Bending rules.
So this brings us to our final argument. What is the real reason you game? This is really foundational in this debate. Whatever format you play this game in, I have to confess it's a really good game in either medium. But picture the difference between playing actual tennis with a real human as opposed to playing it on your game system. Board gaming is a real experience, and yes, like playing tennis, it might be sweatier and maybe a little bit more exhausting, but it's infinitely more rewarding to do it live. Rather than the program managing everything you do, which often leaves players without a real sense of what's happening and why, you get to run it all, and there's a sense of accomplishment in being fully in command. Board gaming is a social experience, and some board games are better when you're face-to-face. This is definitely one of them.
So I like to hone my skills, fine-tune my strategy, improve my gameplay. The digital game lets me play 2 to 3 games in the time that you would only get 1 in. I can face off against the Automa, the AI, or any number of high-quality players across the world. Coupled with that, there's also a weekly challenge. For a solo gamer, the digital edition is absolutely the best way to experience this. I can also see my history, and as you play cards, you unlock those cards in your collection. So it feels like there's a memory with this edition. Ultimately, this decision will come down to which gaming experience is most fun and rewarding. And for me, the digital edition provides that.
Well, it sounds like we need a Wingspan duel, you versus me. And in the meantime, thanks for all your thoughts, Cax. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
But to those of you judging this debate, please let us know whose arguments resonate with you more by voting in our community tab. You can navigate to that from our YouTube webpage, Legendary Tactics, and add your verdict down below in the comments. Thanks so much for your time. We hope you enjoy whatever version of Wingspan you decide to play.